Good morning.
Today it's gonna be up to 80 degrees. Yeah, 80 with winds blowing at 34 miles per hour.
If you can't control the weather, you can only take a look at the forecast like we did this morning so far. It looks as though it's going to be relatively light, but sometimes Mother Nature likes to surprise you with some things. Dudek Universal or Dudek Warp. Today, I want to do some flying that isn't like going to require all my attention. This is a chill, explanatory video on how you guys can get more comfortable with flying. And most of you would be using a glider like this one that's in this bag, which is a Dudek Universal. Oh, freaking heavy.
Paramotoring can be scary. The numbers indicate that you will be, statistically speaking, safe. And the odds are in your favor that you'll have a very safe flight. But it's always that what if that gets you. So here's the first thing that I do when I do get out to a field is I'm like really checking for the wind, because that is the number one, write that down. That is the number one thing that can set me off and get me out of my comfort zone, is if I get to the field and you just feel it. Let's take a walk over to this branch and you tell me if there's any wind. One of the things you can do to reassure yourself or build a little bit of confidence is to actually get your glider out and kite it. And if you can kite it safely, then you can likely fly it safely. And if I'm kiting the glider and it feels right and it's kiteable and it's steady, then we'll go ahead and go for a short flight, get a little bit of practice in, and then return to base and call it a mission accomplished.
Alright, so we're gonna let that warm up here for just a little bit, because that's always important, right, you?
Get away from that blasphemy of a motor sound.
All right. It looks good out there. I'm gonna take this camera up with me and the Insta360. It's gonna be busy work today, real busy. All right, welcome aboard the USS Vella. Okay. Let's go ahead and contact the tower. El Paso Tower, this is Paramotor Whiskey Tango Foxtrot requesting straight out departure through a really tight shot on a short field takeoff straight out towards the city downtown. We're going to be taking some photographs today. How copy?
0 left, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff.
Yikes! All right. I'm seeing some photo ops come up. I'm going to use the reflection in the camera to see where my fuel level's at without getting the strap in my propeller. Thank you. Oh, we're good. My biggest concern right now is not the fuel, it's the weather. Hoping that nothing kicks up. Oh wow, that's really pretty, the glow of the water. Let's get right over the water and actually take a photo. Just like try and line up the composition of the shot. Let's see here. Let's see, love. We're gonna crank that up. Yeah, buddy. Those legs like Instagram female models that put their legs all up in that shot. Ooh, legs. Yeah, I'm digging it. No. There we go. There's one. This is exceeding the original flight plan. Come on. There it is. That's workable, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think I'm gonna stick with that. I love these islands right here. Like, how stupid would you be if you had a motor out and you're like, the island, and you land on the island. And we're gonna turn around. Birds, no planes, cool. Thanks for joining me on that photograph session. Once again, remember to go to Instagram.com/AnthonyKVella if you want to kind of join along in some cool paramotor photography. Back to the conversation on safety. When I got started in paramotoring, I never messed with the trims. The trims are the way that you control the speed. It's okay to not necessarily keep up with your friends if you do not feel comfortable making adjustments to unnecessary things during flight. Like, there's nothing that trims do to increase your safety while flying. I mean, if they're already set to the neutral position, because that's the level that the gliders are tested at. Their safety ratings are assigned when the trims are set in their neutral position. It may be different, but it's usually on the lower end, the lower number of the trim settings. So for example, like 3 is a very safe setting for this Dudek Universal, but it has a massive trim range that goes all the way up to 24. And the problem with messing with the trims is, if you've been paying attention in your paramotor training or you read Jeff Gowen's PPG Bible, you're familiar at this point that the trims are make it more challenging for you to recover from a collapse if it happens. The interesting thing is though, when the trims are further out, the wing becomes more pressurized and therefore is more resistant to collapses. All right. It is a lot of fun to navigate around town, around your town, not over your town, but around your town using visual references. This is the school that my son goes to, and I use it as kind of a waypoint. And I know that if I'm following the river and I see his school, I bank to the left towards the mountains at about a 35-degree angle, and that puts me on path to make it back to my own flying field. And it's fun, man. You know, whether you're truly navigating by air or you just like to pretend that you are, it doesn't matter. What difference does it make if you're having a great time doing it either way? The more you fly paramotors, the more you'll be able to identify different types of turbulence. Like the popping one, like that I feel right there, is not nearly as jarring or intimidating or fear-inducing as what you may have witnessed in my last video, which was how to fly like Tucker got. In that video, I was flying through a valley on a very calm day, and I encountered a form of turbulence that's known as rotor. And rotor is air that is affected by the landscape rather than the warming of the air or just the movement of the air that's not affected by the terrain below it. Rotor is directly affected by the solid items that the wind is passing around, and it really turns it up in a way that's very comparable to like river rapids. As we make our way closer to the mountain, the turbulence is getting a little bit more intense. One of the things that I do when I encounter turbulence to feel more comfortable is I bring the trims into a slower setting because I know that it's safer in the very unlikely event that something would happen. I can trust in my equipment that it will recover on its own, or with minimal input that the average pilot should easily be able to do. I went a lot further on this flight than I had expected. There's some more turbulence. I'm going to bring those trims into 6. All right, there's 6. We're going to pass over Interstate 10, I-10. If you've ever been on I-10, holla it in the comments. Maybe you've passed my house a few times. But yeah, so now we've just crossed Interstate 10, and this is the last stretch. This is like what I consider final approach into Anthony Airfield on this beautiful day. I'm hoping that this camera frees swingly enough to allow me to get out of my harness on landing. Yeah, so far this has been an incredible flight. One of the bumpiest places that I know, one of the bumpiest places that I experience and have recognized this since the beginning of my flying days is, oddly enough, right over my field. The field that I fly from just creates turbulence for some reason. Perhaps it's the grass field, it just has a difference in heat rising because of the color differences. But it does, it gets a little bit churned up near my field. We'll see if we can witness that on this Insta360. Just for you guys, I'm gonna do an Insta360 landing. It's a little bit complicated. The very first time I did it, I flew to a volcano, and I shared that on my YouTube channel as well. Landing with the Insta360 was tricky because you flare, and I smashed my camera into the ground, and I actually got it on that YouTube video. Oh, there's the wing. It's starting to rock as mentioned. It's going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get set up for landing. I'm going to position this by going like that, and then we just keep it out. Oh my God, if I drop my Insta360 today, okay, that ought to do it. All right, we're gonna glide it on in and hopefully get somewhere near my truck. And come on, remember not to smash the Insta360. That would be great if we can do that. It's bumpy. We're coming in kind of at a hot angle. Very nice. Very nice. And turn it and kill the motor. Yes. Huh. I will take that. That was wonderful. So yeah, I hope the moral of this story is that you just don't go faster than you feel comfortable. Like that is just so has always been such a big thing for me, is to remind myself, even when I feel tempted to keep up with my friends, to go at my own pace. You can get the most out of every flight, and you can enjoy this sport for many, many, many years to come. Thanks for tagging along. Head over to Instagram.com/AnthonyKVella and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys later. Bye.